Hello everybody, welcome to my Facebook Live page, to my Facebook Live. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're all well and that you're having a great week. So today I have something fun to show you. It's kind of a technique. You know how I love techniques. And and as you all know too, we are into the last month of sale-a-bration, where you can earn free products for every $50 that you spend. So it's exciting this week because Stampin Up just released the second release in sale-a-bration products. So more new stuff. So if you've got everything from the first brochure, then here's the second one with new stuff. So I'm going to show you a couple of the products from here. Please, if you're watching this, share this with one of your crafty or one or more of your crafty friends so they can watch too. And you can watch the replay later also. So let me show you a couple of the new products. So I'm going to be showing you this very cool paper here, the Flowering Foils Specialty Designer Series paper. And then look at all this cool stuff. These cups are so cute, and they match. They go with, they have matching dies that actually came out in the holiday catalogue. So you can cut out these cute little cups. And there's a set that would be great for Father's Day or for masculine cards. And then this vellum paper, which I'm going to also be showing you. And then another stamp set with some nice sentiments. So some really great additional products. And then at the back they list everything. So let me show you the vellum. It's really beautiful. It's kind of embossed. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to lift it right up to the camera. All these little kind of dots. It's actually embossed. So really beautiful. I've never seen vellum like this before with this raised detail on it. It comes in 6 sheets, comes in 3 different colors. This is Purple Posy. And did you see I got my nails done in Purple Posy just to match? This is Soft Seafoam. And this one is Pool Party. So really beautiful. I love the lovely soft shades. But the paper that we're going to be working with today is the Flowering Foils Specialty Designer paper. And this is just beautiful. Now it's beautiful as it is, but I'm going to show you some fun coloring techniques that we can do with it. So you get 12 sheets in a pack. They're not double-sided like some of the papers are, but you get 4 different designs. So there's this beautiful flowers. There's these small flowers, and they've got foil. This one has silver and I think it's rose gold, and this one does too. And then this one is just silver. I mean, this would be beautiful for wedding cards, something just like it is. And this one is really unusual. This is the rose gold again. This would be great for some masculine cards, maybe with a Father's Day stamp. And my dog is barking. I wonder if you can hear her. Hopefully she'll be quiet. So anyway, let me show you some different coloring techniques that we can do. So I'm going to start out, and then I'm going to show you at the end some cards that I've made with the finished panels that I did. So I'm going to start out with this one. And what I like to do is I cut my paper down into 4-inch wide long strips, because the squares are 12 by 12. So then I have 3 long strips, and then I can cut them to whatever length I like. So this one I cut down to 5 1/4, so it's 4 by 5 1/4, which is perfect for going on a card front. So let's see, out of one whole pack of paper, you could do, let's see, you could go do 6 to a sheet. So 6 12s, that would be 72. So you could do 72 cards. And that's if you covered the whole mat. But if you just use smaller pieces, you could do way more than that. So it's a really great deal. And what I'm going to show you is that you can do any color to match your other cardstocks and ribbons, whatever you have in your stash. So I'm going to be using, for this one, I'm going to be using these three colours: Mint Macaron, Balmy Blue and Highland Heather. So I'm going to open them all up. And I forgot one thing here. Let's see if I have some. Yeah. And then I'm going to be using a brayer or Brayers. So these, they're like little foam Brayers, and they're great because they're really inexpensive, and you get 2 handles in a set and 4 sponges. So you can, and they just pop out really easily. I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, I'm going to start out with the Mint Macaron, and when you ink up your roller, what you want to do is instead of going back and forth like that, you want to do a continuous motion so that you get the whole roller covered in ink. If you just do back and forth, there's one part of the sponge that won't get inked. So we're just going to go over and over, and this is Mint Macaron. And then I'm just going to go starting kind of off, and it takes a little while to build up the colour, but you just want to kind of go backwards and forwards over your paper. My Mint Macaron may need re-inking because I've been doing this a lot, but you can just go back onto the ink pad and you'll see it start to, and in fact I'm going to I have some white pieces of paper here. I'm going to put one of these down so that my grid paper doesn't get too messy. We can switch this paper out. So I'm just going to go back and forth like this. You can see it's starting to get green now. And then I'm going to switch to the Balmy Blue, and I'm just going to keep the same roller, same sponge. I'm just going to make sure there's not too much left on the sponge, and then I'm just going to go into the blue because it's very similar. It's kind of a greeny blue, and that green is a bluey green, so they're pretty close. And I'm just going back in the blue. And you can do any color combination that you like here, which makes it just really fun. So you can see the blue starting to show now. And you can kind of, if you overlap them a little bit, you'll even get like another color where they blend. And then I'm actually going to switch rollers to, let's see if I could probably use one that's kind of purpley. And these little sponges, you can just, because our inks are water-based, they wash out super easily. So you just rinse them under the tap, and they'll stain a little bit, but the color will all come out. So then this one is Highland Heather, and what I'm going to do here, what I was reaching for in my drawer, was I'm going to take a Post-it note, and if you don't like getting your fingers messy, this is kind of a big one, but you take your Post-it note and you take the actual sticky side and put your fingers on it, and then you can hold the paper down and move your fingers around without getting all inky. You see how pretty that purple is. So I'm going to do this a little bit darker, and then I'm going to go back over the other colors to really just blend them in a little bit more, darken them a little. But you can already see how pretty that is, and it's fairly subtle. It's not too dark because these are fairly subtle colors. So now I'm going to go back to the blue, Balmy Blue, and do a little bit more of that. And like I say, I'm going to overlap it a little bit. You can see it's getting a bit darker. And then I'm going to go back in. I'm just going to make sure I don't have too much blue on here. And I'm going to go back into the mint macaron. Just flip this around. Make that just a little bit darker and blend that in a little bit more. And there you go. So isn't that pretty? It's beautiful. And what a transformation. Let's see, let me show you an original. This is an original one. So really pretty. So that's one thing that you can do. And then let's do something different. Put those to one side. And we'll put this to one side. Let's do something with these flowers. And I'm going to do the same to start with, and I'm going to do all over with blueberry bushel. So, and I'm going to use the brayer that had the blue kind of green on it, because this is a darker color, so the other colors aren't going to show. And I'm just going to go all over with this. My Post-it note. And you can do, if you do kind of all directions with this, if you do some horizontal, some vertical, you'll kind of avoid getting too many lines. You get a nice kind of smooth. We're going to do it fairly dark. I want fairly dark on this one. You can see I'm really getting some nice deep colour now. I think this paper would be beautiful for wedding cards or anniversary, if you left it white, or even if you coloured it. Alright, I'm just going to do a little bit more. I love doing stuff like this, it's so fun. And each one turns out a little bit different. I love techniques. I'm not an artist, I don't consider myself an artist at all, but I love to do things like this that are really easy but give you just really amazing results. Alright. I think I'm gonna quit there. All right, so that's beautiful. Let me close up my blueberry bushel, and then let me take this out of the way. All right, so that's really beautiful as it is. And what I'm gonna do first, before I go on to the next step, is I'm gonna take, I have like a little soft cloth, but I forgot to get that out. It's in my drawer at where I sit when I'm doing my crafting. And but I'm just going to use a Kleenex, and I'm just going to use this. And then what this will do is it'll take any ink that's sitting on the foil. It just kind of removes that. And you can see there's a little bit on there. But the actual ink dries really fast, so you're not going to take any of that off from the white areas. All right, now I'm going to take a Stampin blend, and this is Night of Navy, and it's dark. They come in pairs, they come in a dark and a light, but this one is the dark one. And I'm just going to colour in the flowers, and you'll see it gives a really nice contrast. I'm not going to do all of it, but I will show you a card at the end that is finished. And what's interesting about the blue and this rose gold is the gold doesn't seem to be affected by the blue too much, so it's really easy. You can just kind of colour really quickly. Now the white does seem to pick up the blue, so you want to do that really carefully. The blends have two ends to their pens. They have a a brush end, and then they have a fine tip. So if you're concerned about getting color on the white, you can switch to the fine tip. Let's do that. Just do these little bits here for the small detail. Let's do that. But it doesn't really worry me if I get a little bit. And if you're really, if you really want to take off, if you do get some blue on the white, what you can do is put a little bit of alcohol on a Q-tip or a little cotton ball, and just rub gently over the area, over the white where you have that alcohol ink, and it'll take it off. Now you've got to be careful not to rub it on the areas where you use the brayer, because it will take the color off from there. And then you can go back if you want it a little bit darker. You can go back in one more time. I don't know if I did that bit. I'm just going to do one flower, but... And you can do your background as light or as dark as you want, depending how much contrast you want between the two. Isn't that pretty? It's subtle, but it's just really pretty. So I'll show you a project in a minute that I did that with, that technique. And then, and then let's see what else we're gonna do. I'll show you how to do just one color in a gradient. So this, again, we're gonna use this pretty silver, and I thought the silver and the green would be really pretty. Let's see, let's use this clean one here. And I'm going to start really heavy at the bottom and then just gradually lighten up as I get towards the top. Yay! Let's see. Who's watching? And I'm going to start really heavy somebody. At the bottom and then just gradually. I still can't figure out how to see. Yay! How to see who's watching. But somebody is. And I'm going to start really heavy somebody. Oh no! Now I've got my sound up on my iPad. I still haven't got the hang of this whole Facebook Live thing. As you can see, I'm a bit technologically challenged apparently. So I'm going to start out really dark, and what I'm going to do is really focus on the bottom right now and get that really dark, and then I'm just going to kind of almost like to clean off my sponge, go up towards the top. And I want to get that bottom really, really dark. And I have one that I already did that I'll show you, so I don't take too long. So you kind of get the picture. I forgot I was going to put my piece of white paper down here. It's not so distracting. Maybe I should just put my white paper back at the end. Now I've messed up my grid paper. Anyway, you kind of get the idea there. And let me show you one that I did earlier. Again, we can just kind of buff that off a little bit. Make sure that we get all the green off the silver. And here's one that I did yesterday that's a bit more even, and just you could do that in any color, just it's a nice kind of ombre effect. All right, one last technique I'm going to show you. Bring this back in to cover up that. One last technique, and this is using little sponge daubers. I'm sure there are other techniques too that you can just use the markers, the Stampin Blends on their own, obviously, and leave the background white, or colour in just the background and leave the flowers white. But one last thing I'm going to show you is sponging with just little sponge daubers. I'm using these right here, and they are they come in a pack of, I think, 4, and they're nice because they fit on your finger, so you don't get messy. And you're just going to tap, 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 and they're kind of fun. You can do techniques on them, like you could just do like little circles like this all over a page to give a cool background. So they're kind of fun. But for right now, we're just gonna, and I'm gonna tap off just a little bit to get the excess off. And then you just do with a really light touch, you're just gonna circle. This is Melon Mambo. And then I'm just doing this and I want it out lighter to the edge. And you're just gonna go as dark or as light as you like. That's pretty good. I like that. A little bit darker in the center. And then I'm going to get some greens to do the leaves. There's up my Melon Mambo. And I'm using Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive. And I like to label my, you can just use kind of like I did with the sponge brayers. You can use just one sponge dauber for each color family, but I use them a lot in classes, so I tend to keep them one for each color, and I label them like this so that they're easy to keep organized. And I don't know actually that I need really 2 colors, but let's start out with Pear Pizzazz and we'll see how we do. And then I'm actually going to cut this flower out, so it doesn't matter if I go over the edge here. So again, we're just going to tap off the excess, and then we're going to, yeah, I'm not going to need the Old Olive, I don't think. And again, I'm going to starting out kind of in the base, because I just want it to get lighter out towards the edge. And I can just get a little bit more. And so really fun and easy. And like I say, it doesn't matter if you go over the edge because you're going to cut it out. And it's kind of artsy, so even if you run one color into another, it doesn't really matter. And then what I did, I don't think I really need the Old Olive. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then what I did to fill in the berries is I just went back in with my Stampin Blends. And I actually used the lovely lipstick, and I used the light. Because there's not a Melon Mambo blend. So I just went in and coloured these in like this, and I coloured the centre. There we go. Alright, and then you can cut that out. Okay, so let me show you a couple of projects. Let's cover that mess. That I've made, if I can find, oh, here they are. So here's one that I did with, excuse me, the first sample that I showed you with the mint macaron, balmy blue, and Highland Heather. And this is dies I used as a new die set called, oh, I think it's So Sentimental. It's from the new mini catalogue, and I'll have all the supplies listed for you so that if you want to purchase anything, you'll be able to find it easily. And then the words, the dies and the words are from the die, and this little flower is from the Well Written dies, and the birthday is from the coordinating set, Well Said. And so you can kind of mix and match. In fact, I have them right here. This is the stamp set, Well Said. It has all kinds of sentiments. It's a double set. And then here are the dies. And I like to keep them on magnets, and so you can see you get a lot, and they all kind of coordinate. So you can do happy birthday and things like that. Kind of one thing die cut and the other one stamped. So that's how I did that one. And I actually cut for the frame, I die cut three. I put 2 frames together and I cut 3 of each to give them a little bit of height there. So that's that one. And then this one is the same. I think that's a little bit crooked. This one is the same as the other one, except for I used a different color combination and then I mounted it on black because they were bolder colors. So this is Pineapple Punch, Grapefruit Grove, and Melon Mambo. And again, stamps and the dies from the same set. And here's one that uses the background where we braid with Blueberry Bushel, and then I coloured in with the marker, Night of Navy Dark blend. And this is a die. It's actually a thank you die. It die cuts thank you all in one, and I just cut it apart. And again, I did 3 and die cut 3 and stuck them together so they give some height. And the thank is from that same stamp set that I used before. And then some little champagne rhinestones. Isn't that pretty? And then this one right here. So this I did the background just like the blue one. I did Melon Mambo in the background and then Lovely Lipstick. And then I sponged this flower just like I showed you and cut it out. I cut off the little berries. I thought it was a bit fussy with that and stuck that in. And then for these embellishments, these are the, I think they're called the Epoxy Droplets or something like that. What I did was I took my Lovely Lipstick marker, and because they come clear, and I coloured them to match the card. So that's another really fun thing that you can do with your embellishments, your pearls, rhinestones. You can colour them to match your card. This little die here is from the lovely lily pad dies that is a free celebration item. So, and then lastly, remember that other paper, which is, I said, could be more masculine looking. This one. I couldn't quite think what to, I knew I could use it maybe on a masculine card or kind of a contemporary card, but I couldn't quite think what to do with it on a card. So I thought I would make a couple of 3D items. So let me show you what I did. I did this little purse. How cute is that? So what I did was I braided all over with grey granite, and then this is early espresso here, early espresso cardstock, and then these little buckles I cut from copper cardstock. They don't quite match the rose gold, but you can't really tell. And then this little tassel I actually coloured, it was white, and I actually coloured it with the grey granite blend too, to match. It kind of matches. But this adorable purse die comes from the Best Dressed dies, Best Dressed suite that is in the mini catalogue. But isn't that cute? And it's a good size. You could put a cute, a nice gift, some candy or some makeup or gift card, jewelry. So, and then last but not least, I made this bag. So I did that ombre effect with this one. So this is Purple Peacock. I thought the blue would go really beautifully with the rose gold. So this is Purple Peacock, and I just did, like I did with this one, I just did kind of like an ombre effect. Started off darker at the bottom and then blended out towards the top. And this is some copper ribbon that isn't quite the same, but it goes pretty well. So this is so fun because you could do a bag, or any color that you wanted. You could do it to match whatever ribbon you had, or whatever tissue paper, or whatever color the person liked that you were going to gift it to. So just the possibilities are just endless. So, and again, it's such a good deal. 12 by 12 sheets, free with a $50 order. Such beautiful paper. So anyway, thank you for joining me. If you'd like to, again, this is in the second release of the sale-a-bration, and we're down to the last month now, so you don't have long to order. And paper like this, I know, is going to be flying off the shelves in the Stampin Up warehouse because it's so beautiful. So again, please share with your friends, and if you would like to, oh, and I have a workshop, a class is coming up the end of March, towards the end of March, the 20th and the 21st of March, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So if you're local to the area, please send me a message, and I'd love to have you come to my class. And if you can't come to my class but would like to shop, then I will put my link to my store below the video, and would love to have you try some of this out for yourself. Anyway, bye for now. I'll catch you next time in 2 weeks, and have a great rest of the week. Bye-bye.